Hi, this is Brandon from Watches on You. Today we're taking a look at the Bremont H-4 Hercules. Now, this is a very special watch because the H-4 Hercules has been released by Bremont as a limited edition, but it's a seriously limited edition in that there's only 300 pieces being produced in steel, 75 pieces being produced in rose gold, and then 75 pieces being produced in platinum. So this is a very kind of rare watch, and I'm very impressed with the quality that it offers. This review is going to be a little bit different than what we normally do, just because I'm going to start out with the actual box and we'll do kind of an unboxing. And I wanted to do this chiefly because the box that it comes in is fairly unique and has a lot of cool kind of features that go along with it that I thought you guys would want to see. So as you can see, the front of the box says the Bremont H-4 Hercules, the name of the watch. But when you open the box, you get the back side of the box has a quote from Howard Hughes, because obviously he designed the H-4 Hercules, also known as the Spruce Goose. If you've seen the movie Aviator, this plane was featured in that movie. And it has the largest wingspan, at least at the time, of any plane that had ever been produced, and possibly to this day. And the reason it was called the Spruce Goose is because it was made out of wood. There was a shortage on aluminum during the time of the war in steel, so he had to make it out of wood, essentially. And this is also discussed in that movie Aviator, where he kind of goes over his choice of that material. And you can see the quote that he has here is, "I want to be remembered for only one thing, my contribution to aviation." And Howard Hughes was a very big kind of aviator. He broke speed records, and he did a lot of various activities that kind of made him one of the most foremost pilots at the time. So as you can see, inside the box, you get this bag, and when this watch originally shipped, the actual kind of pouch that the watch came in was inside of this little bag, but it's kind of cool because it has the various schematics associated with the Spruce Goose on it. It's a very nice kind of travel pouch. So now moving on to the actual kind of folio that the watch comes in. You can see it's just a very nice leather kind of folio, as I said, and I'll pop open the buttons here, and you can see that on the inside, again, it's very nice, made in England leather, and you get a bunch of actually kind of unique items that are unique to this watch relative to Bremont's other models. So you actually have a piece of fabric from the H-4 Hercules that Howard Hughes flew. So it only flew once, and it was very brief, on November 2nd, 1947, as you can see. And this piece of fabric, I think it's kind of cool because it's not just some clean piece of fabric where it's like, well, is it really part of the plane, or is it really a significant part? No, this clearly was, because it's actually stained and kind of dirty. And I think that's a cool thing to have, because you can see it actually kind of contributed to the plane itself. Additionally, you get a very nice keychain that has the kind of a Spruce Goose logo on it. It's actually kind of a mixture of the propeller and then the watch movement. It's actually an image of the case back of the watch, which is clear, as you'll see shortly. Additionally, you get this nice Zulu-style strap, this leather strap, as well as the various manuals that are associated with this watch. And the watch itself is in this zippered compartment here. And as you can see, the watch is, it's finished very, very well. I'll take off this plastic wrapper here. Just want to be careful. So the stainless steel that was used in this is extremely high quality. It's hardened stainless steel. Bremont's known for their case finishing and just the level of quality that they put into their watches. And additionally, one thing I'd like to note about this piece is just the quality of that dial. So this watch is a GMT watch. You can see it's got this very nice arrowed kind of GMT hand here, centered at kind of that 12-hour mark on the outer chapter ring. But what's so cool about this dial is that it has these very nice applied loomed indices that just show the quality of this watch. It's very, very impressive. Furthermore, overall, the case is fairly similar to many of Bremont's other models, but just the finishing is just superb when you compare it to many other watches that are kind of this caliber with regard to the luxury segment. So getting into the case back here, you can see the Le Jeu Perret movement. So Bremont created it in conjunction with Le Jeu Perret, and it's just definitely a cut above their ETA-based movements. It's very, very nice. Additionally, you can see that on the rotor here, it has these pieces of spruce, and these are from the Spruce Goose. So they're, again, actual pieces of that plane that are incorporated into this watch. And what's really cool about this watch is that a portion of the profits go to kind of maintaining the Spruce Goose. It's in a museum in Oregon currently. And I love this watch. It's got kind of it has a slate grade finished kind of movement. So it's like a little bit of a different color relative to many other watch brands. It really, you can see from the finishing, you have both Côte de Genève and Perlage kind of all over the movement, and it just looks very, very nice. So overall, I'm a big fan of this watch. It's got a 43 millimeter case size, which is a little bit large, but given that this watch is kind of meant to be an aviation watch, I think that size is acceptable. It needs to be legible from a relatively far distance, and that's really important for flying, and I think that's just something that kind of plays into this piece. An additional thing that I would like to note, and I'll have to move the GMT hand out of the way to show this, is that the date wheel is actually brushed stainless steel. So it's actually like an old Submariner in that it has that. I think it's the old Submariners that have that. It's either that or the GMT Masters, or maybe both. But it looks very cool, and it kind of blends in with the color scheme of the watch itself. So I really like this watch, as you guys can tell. And I'll try it on for a wrist shot. So as I said, the 43 millimeter case is slightly large, but I think it honestly wears a little bit smaller than that, so that's probably good for most people. I think it would fit totally fine for most people. Additionally, it would probably fit under a dress shirt cuff. Again, this is just an excellent watch. I'd highly recommend it. And I'd like to give a special thank you to Continental Diamond in St. Louis Park, Minnesota, for lending us this watch for the purposes of this review. If you're interested in purchasing this watch, I'll be dropping a link in the description of their website that has all their contact info on it. So definitely check that out if you are, again, interested. Additionally, thank you for watching this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks.